from Kyle Field in College Station. It's the 4A State Football Championship between the West Orange Stark Mustangs and the Rockwall Yellow Jackets. Today's game is being brought to you by Market Basket, Orange Memorial Hospital, Northway Shopping Center, and by Champion Savings. Now, here's Brian Jensen and Dan Gresham.
Some 5 months of preparation has come to this. There are but 2 remaining. Hello, everybody. I'm Brian Jensen. Welcome to College Station. Joining us this afternoon, Dan Gresham. Dan, West Orange Stark trying to defend that title. What are they going to have to do to win?
I think they're going to do the same thing, Brian, they've done all year long, and that is play defense. I mean, when you shut a team down, when you can hold them to under 10, when you can score 28 points on offense, you're going to establish your game. You're going to play your way you should. I think they've got to play defense against Rockwall's running game. On the other side of the field, the Yellow Jackets, Coach Todd Dodge over there. Will that be a factor? I think we'll see some influence. I'm not sure it'll be that great of a factor. They've still got to run against West Orange Stark's defense. And I think they've got to look at the Mustang offense and say, what can we do to control this ball club? How much of a factor will the weather be? Torrential rain, severe weather moved through this area. It has subsided. Kickoff in just a moment.
We are just about set now. The kickoff for the 4A State Championship. That was Adrian Steen with the kickoff for West Orange Stark, and Rockwall in orange will take it back to about the 33-yard line. That's where they will begin. The first possession of this ball game, Rockwall winning the toss, by the way, did elect to receive.
And I think, again, it's important to remind everyone how much rain we've had. About 2 hours prior, we had a severe thunderstorm move through the College Station area. Puddles on the field. It's going to be wet turf. It's going to be a ground game, you would have to think, Brian, to start this ball game off. Rockwall in possession.
Andy Holland and Robbie Burleson, the guys to watch out for on this offensive attack for Rockwall. Holland is the quarterback, number 12. And there is some motion already. Coming right, the pitch. That is Burleson. A swarming defense by West Orange Stark. That is their trademark, as Burleson is dropped for a loss on the first play from offense, and it'll be second down now from the 31.
Interesting, of course, to see Rockwall coming out with the option to start things off. As I mentioned, with the wet grass, you're going to have to feel things out to begin the game. That's what they're going to do. Look for the soft spots in the defense, and that time, the linebackers, Deering and Debron Temple, up to the job.
The play brought in by Kevin Kaufman. He will be split wide right. They do play the slot back, multiple type offense that you see out of Thomas Jefferson and maybe some out of Nederland as well to familiarize. Back to passes Holland. He's going deep to Kaufman, but Kaufman is out of bounds. So that one, well, the official says it was picked off. Intercepted by Kevin Smith. It appeared that Smith stepped out of bounds along with Kaufman. So we're going to have to wait and see this one on the replay. It was close.
Well, if you'll take a look, you'll find out that as the wide receiver comes down the field, as you mentioned, he does step out of bounds, Brian, but I don't think that Kevin Smith got out of bounds. He makes the snag right on the sidelines. 1, 2 on the line, and of course all you have to have is 1 in high school, so it is a good interception, and the Mustangs take over their first possession on the turnover at their own 34-yard line.
What a great snag by Smith over the shoulder. He leads the team in interceptions, and that is a perfect indication right there. Tremaine Lewis, now the quarterback. The pitch to Steen, the freshman. And Steen runs into a host of Rockwall Yellow Jackets and is dropped for a loss as well.
It looked like Chad Keck, the safety, came up and made the tackle.
Now, offensively for West Orange Stark, the offensive line, the key. They are a very senior-dominated group. 5 of 6 linemen, in fact, are seniors. Jim Bob Avon will be the guy snapping the ball. That's going to be very important today because of the wet conditions. Getting that connection between the center and the quarterback. Second down and 11 now. Back to pass is Lewis. He's got the man open, but it is incomplete. Michael Collins, the intended receiver, so Lewis starts out 0 for 1. Now let's take a look at the backfield for West Orange Stark. You know about Tremaine Lewis. He has really come on strong here the second half of this season. Adrian Steen, the guy to watch out for, a freshman playing in his state championship game. Eric West, the flanker, Michael Collins. Now these guys will be traded in and out for a couple of other guys with very familiar names, Kevin Smith, Quentin Tizino, so watch for them in the offensive category as well. Second down, make that 3rd and 11 now as Lewis goes back to pass. Over across the middle, it is caught for a first down. West Orange Stark pulling it out with the first down of this ball game, and that was Lewis with the catch. So already Kevin Lewis has made quite an impact to this ball game.
Yeah, I think that you were mentioning in the backfield, Adrian Steele is only 15 years old. I think that's going to be important. But look across the middle, the open man. They catch him in between the zone of the secondary of Rockwall. Good for the first down to the 49-yard line.
Eric West comes wide left. A split backfield again behind Lewis. You will see that all day long. Handoff is up the middle. That's Brown. He'll pick up plenty of yardage on first down. This is the kind of thing, I think, Dan, that we would like to see a lot of out of West Orange Stark. Getting 5 or 6 yards on that first down up the middle.
I think you will, because I think they're going to depend on their offensive line. The interior line averages 6 foot 236 for West Orange Stark. You know, there were 5A teams that don't go as large as these two teams on the field today, and they're going to depend heavily on their interior lines.
West Orange Stark, of course, played a lot of 5A teams in non-district to get ready for their 4A counterparts, and they have done a magnificent job. Lewis and Brown have trouble with the handoff right there, and Brown is knocked for a loss. David Gaffney and Tony McGuire in there for the tackle, and David Gaffney, a guy that Dan Hooks is very concerned about this afternoon.
He is the leading tackle for Rockwall. Let's take a look at the replay. What happens is Tremaine Lewis puts it into the pocket and then almost changes his mind. Nearly had a fumble that time, but they were able to hang on to possession, but it'll bring up a 3rd and 5 for West Orange Stark.
Well, you'll hear this a lot. Big play here for West Orange Stark. 9:51 left in the first quarter. Their first possession. They want to keep it going. Lewis able to get outside, and the pass is complete to Tizino. Quentin Tizino inside the 30-yard line. First down, West Orange Stark.
Once again, Tony McGuire makes the tackle, but not until the completion to Tizino, and Lewis ran to his right. He likes to run out of the pocket. He looks downfield. He's got the speed to run, but he finds the open man, finds Tizino downfield, makes a good move to get away from the sideline, stay in bounds, and pick up the extra yardage all the way down to the 29-yard line.
Lewis couldn't have held that ball any longer. In fact, he really did let it go at just the optimum time. 1st and 10, West Orange Stark inside the 30-yard line. The handoff is faked, and Lewis keeps it himself, but just for a couple. David Gaffney again on the tackle.
What you're going to see a lot of, I think, from the Mustangs, Dan Hooks likes to call them a second-half team. He likes to pretend they play better in the second half. But in fact, they're a good first-half team. He put the ball in, he ran the option, and again, there you see the player down, Adrian Steen, the freshman, is being attended to.
A terrible loss for West Orange Stark if it is anything serious, and they are looking at the ankle of Adrian Steen. This turf is wet, and I know that sometimes the shoes are very important, Dan. When you have a wet turf like this, sometimes it'll grab that shoe. Look at it on the replay.
Well, I think that, and I think what happened that time is he had a blocker fall down behind him. He actually tripped it backwards, so almost a hyperextension situation there for Adrian Steen. Had 106 yards coming into the game. He walks off under his own power. 5.7 yards a carry, and keep in mind, this is a freshman who has to drive from a separate campus just to work out with a varsity team.
Got his first start against C.E. King in the playoffs and has played extremely well since. 2nd down and 8 now for the Mustangs. The handoff is the second guy through. Is that Brown? It is. Brown with a pretty good game, maybe enough for a first down. Oh, looks about a half a yard short.
Terrence Brown has really been the workhorse of the offense. Of course, he's been in 14 games. He's picked up over 1,000 yards this season rushing. He has 12 touchdowns to his credit, and he's averaging 79 yards a game. And he is the counterback out of the veer. He is the man who will run the counter, which is a unique trap play that you'll see a lot out of West Orange Stark.
Jelmar Rhodes has replaced Adrian Steen. The handoff goes to Brown. Big hole off the left side, and he has the first down and the penetration inside the 15-yard line.
Penetrations will be important to keep up with, Brian, because of course in the state championship game we still don't have an overtime situation. Here's the give to